Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and as always, welcome to my channel. And for those of you who are new, I know you can benefit. So it is about 8 minutes to midnight. What else is new? But I promised I'd go to bed by midnight, like that's been my goal, rather than 1 in the morning or whatever. And I'm just not adjusting to my new schedule yet. I'm not adjusting to driving the 100 miles a day, and I am, as I've often said, burning the candle at both ends. But I care about my Jules Blessed Vegan community, and I want to check in. So yay for wellness. I've totally been eating well, just fruit and vegetables, digging it all, allowing me the option for a treat, meaning like banana and ice cream if I want, or an extra piece of fruit. I haven't even been having to act on it because I've just been so content with just healthy fruit and vegetables. It's been awesome. So largely I'll eat either a smoothie or bananas with like romaine and chia for breakfast, like one or the other. And then I will have some fruit for a snack. I'll have a bucket of vegetables, like fresh cut vegetables, for my afternoon or ride home. And then for dinner, I'll have a variety of things. I might have a spinach wrap that I make myself, stuffed with vegetables. I usually just have a gigantic salad. Sometimes I'll add something fun to my salad, like I might put some raisins in it or some soaked nuts to kind of wake it up. But generally I'm content with just the vegetables, and I usually make my own dressing. So I don't want to suggest that like I'm forgetting to eat enough or that I don't have a variety of things. I do. Sometimes I do zoodles with salsa, which I love. I'm just loving fruit and vegetables right now. I affirm all the time that I eat plants, and I'm starting to believe it, which is awesome. All right, so how's my time? 2 minutes, okay. What I wanted to talk about was the blessed in Jules Blessed Vegan. And I just wanted to talk about prayer for a minute because a lot of people think prayer has to be so difficult and that you have to have, that you can only pray at church, that you have to have a special setup or a pre-memorized prayer. And God digs it the most when you just talk to him as your authentic self. Like, seriously. I know that personally. And so I just want to encourage people to just know that God has known you before you were born, obviously, since the beginning of time with the intention of creating you, and totally knows your every thought, every fault, every whim, every blessing. He knows it all. He is like the best unexpected friend you could ever hope for because he only wants to love and support you. And that's not to say that he's a pushover, because he will reprimand in his own way and guide you to your best self. But that's what loving parents do. So I was looking at what many people refer to as the Our Father, though I think it's officially the Lord's Prayer. And that was the way Jesus said, when the apostles were like, we don't even know how to pray to your Father. Like, who's this guy you're even talking about? And what are we even supposed to say? And he was like, okay, chill. I got you on this. And so what did he say? I don't even know. So he's saying, Our Father, meaning by baptism, by being adopted, he's your Father as well. So our Father who art in heaven, he actually is in heaven. Hallowed, meaning holy is your name. Your kingdom come. People are waiting for his kingdom to come, but some say because Jesus himself was the incarnation, meaning he was God in human form, thy kingdom has come. Thy kingdom come. Jesus came as the incarnation. Thy will be done. Ideally, when you pray, you want God's will, because he's more likely to say yes. On earth, of course, here we are, but also in the heavens, by virtue of the communion of the saints. Like whoever's on the other side is just a breath away, and whatever is honored here, like Matthew 20:20, when God said, what is bound on earth is bound in heaven. What is loose on earth is loose in heaven. You have to believe that the heavens are honoring what's going on earth, because the objective end game is to get to heaven. So on earth as it is in heaven, give us this day our daily bread. Like, we know you may not give us extra, like you certainly didn't do for the, the Jewish people when they were in the desert for 40 years, but you always gave them enough. That manna came from the sky, and they were fed every day. It wasn't lovely. They were definitely eating to live rather than living to eat, because it was such a simple meal, but God provided it. So give us this day our daily bread, just enough, and forgive us our trespasses, because inevitably we fall short, right? We are sinners. We fall short, but by God's grace, right? Forgive us our trespasses. The tricky part is, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And sadly, that is a lifetime effort. That is an everyday choice. Can you let go those who have offended you, those who have harmed you in some way? Are you really letting go that? Are you forgiving those who have trespassed against you? And if you don't have the means to do that, because God is certainly big enough to do that, can you really ask for a change of heart that only He can grant through grace? That would be fantastic if you honestly could say, Father, I am not a big enough person. I am too angry, I am too hurt, I am too bitter. But I know that you have the grace to forgive. Can you change my heart for me? Who trespass against you and lead you not into temptation. And why would God ever? Because He's so beautiful. But deliver you from evil, which He most certainly has the means to do. And I tell people all the time, good and evil cannot coexist in the same place at once. So it's really imperative that when you're feeling a sense of evil or fear, that you literally say, very simply, Jesus, come quickly, for which He will, because He's so loving and obedient. And when He hears His name, He says, stops the universe to say, how may I help you? 911, what's your emergency? He is totally there. So Jesus, come quickly, and then trust that He is present. And also, I plead the blood of Jesus Christ. Literally, Satan hates that. You plead the blood of Jesus Christ. Wait, what? You know Jesus? Forget you. And then the guy disappears. They cannot coexist. If you're ever in fear, just call on the name of the Lord and know that you're handled. So I love all of that. So just in conclusion, as I'm coming up on my midnight mark, I wanted to share this funny story. When one time I was at Mass, we were just getting ready for Mass, and the priest had a terrible cold. He was feeling awful. And there was about 6 of us in the sacristy, which is like that part behind the altar where you get ready. And he was like, would you guys mind praying with me? Because I am so sick and I've got to get through this Mass. So we all went by him, and people were putting hands on him, like literally resting their hands. And I am like, whatever, hocus pocus, So we have our hands on him. And I generally prayed to God to please remove this flu from him and allow him to perform the Mass. So when the prayer was over, he said, who is standing behind me? And I'm like, me? Why? And he said, because I felt this incredible heat just radiate through your hands when you were praying. And I was like, really? Okay, that's cool. It's all good. I hope it worked. I am not kidding you. Within seconds, he's getting ready to go into the altar for Mass. I'm going back into church because I'm like the Lecter, which is the person who reads the word, does the readings, and in choir. Before I even made it up to the front of the church, I was fevered, burning up, sick as a dog. I had accidentally taken his illness. I don't think it was the first time that had happened. And from then on, I realized that when I pray over animal, heaven forbid I would take on those attributes, and certainly humans, that I tell God, yes, Father, remove the burden, the injury, the illness, and give it to no one. And I literally say, and pass it on to no one. Are you kidding me? So I was just wondering, like, when you pray and pray with intention, are you sure that what you're asking for is what you mean? I asked for that priest to be well. I didn't realize that I was willing to take it on. So be careful what you pray for. Anyway, peace be with you, my friends. It is 30 seconds to midnight, and I am out of here because I have a commitment to myself, if nothing else, that I am going to bed at midnight and that tomorrow's another day. All right, like if you like, join us if you haven't, subscribe. And until we talk again, my friends, know that I pray for you, and best of all, trust that you're blessed.